It's time to wrap up the 3v3 League Season 6. This is Division 2 out of the 6 divisions total. And it's St. Hel versus Cernunnos. This is the map draft. So they start with a pick. Team Acropolis for St. Hel. Nomad for Cernunnos. And then they ban one map each, Maghreb and Amazon Tunnel, out of the question here. Moving on to pick Runestones and Chaos Pit as their remaining home maps, and then banning down to a designated starting map for to end up with Golden Lakes as the first map. Let's have a look at the civilizations here. I think Persians would be a go-to pick for Golden Lakes. Unless you want to get fancy and go Persian divisions on the map. Japanese could be a good contender as well. I've seen Poles on flank for Golden Lakes, but yeah, Franks could work as a pocket as well. But hello, Denjik. Persians, however, really... Yeah, webcam is up. That's right. I'm back home again. Yeah, but Persians pocket, Japanese flank, and I don't know what the last flank would be for a high-good map like that. Could be a lot of the options here. Maybe Vikings. We don't really have any other go-to water maps here. And Cernunnos with Lithuanians would be a good one for Golden Lakes. Pretty common. Dravidians giving population space for the dogs, and Incas flanks perhaps. Let's just dive in and see what they have for us. Okay, Eltron is not joking around here, going for Mayans on the flank for Golden Lakes. A good one as well. This map actually doesn't really have a lot of hills for the Mayans archers and plumed archers to benefit from. But the middle is curving down, so you could still get some elevation advantage here and there. Mayans' longer lasting resources means you could stay at home for longer without needing to move into the middle for further gold access as well. They're not famous for their naval capabilities, but they're okay-ish, the Mayans. So they could fight for the lakes in the corners as well. Probably going to settle up top. In the pocket we have Galafindor with the Lithuanians. Pretty common pocket civilization for hybrid maps like this. Good pocket civilization in general, starting with 100 extra food as their civilization bonus. What you usually see though is the Lithuanians dropping the lumber camp first and then send 4-wheelers instantly to wood, because you start with the 100 extra food, so you're not desperate for food collection from sheep early on, 6 on sheep being the standard. But looks like Galafindor is taking a more common approach here. Finally, Jolly Jumper with the Dravidians, maybe as expected, on the right side flank here, or south side flank, should we say. +5 population per dock, given as a team bonus from the Dravidians. They also have elephant archers as something to go to, maybe on land. Tanky boys, long term, if you have secured the middle and got some consistent gold access. But they also get 200 wood once you advance to the next stage, making it easier to go for a double range blacksmith play in feudal age, or to contest the lakes, as has to be done as well if you see all of the deep fish going on here. Now for St. Hel Shell, we have Denjik in the grey here as the Portuguese. So strong naval civilization, also strong land options in the organ guns, or just fully upgraded arbalest or whatnot. 2 seconds I'll see what the noob indeed. more hit points on the ships, the fighting ships for the Portuguese. Always handy in these naval fights. But got all of the options on land as well. Got decent cavalry, full blacksmith, fully upgraded arbalest. Oh shit, we need to... turn on the notifications here, because one docking villager is about to go down for Eltron. Yeah. And obviously has Loom with Alliance, just wanted to check. Dock stays incomplete. Huge value actually for St. Hel over here, as Eltron sends 2 villagers forward just to be completely sure that that actually goes up. The king events. Probably don't need that one. For the follow. Right. Eltron attempting to return the favor against the non-loomed villager here. This should be fine. Hey, welcome Raiders from Chestnut Place 77. This is 3v3 League Season 6 last playoff final of the 6 divisions. This is the 2nd division. And yeah, I host events regularly. Got a 4v4 league in the making as well. That will be... there will be released information on that late December-ish maybe. But welcome everyone. This is the first game, by the way, as you can see. No score recorded yet. Not that much to spot at this stage in the game. Economic development looking somewhat similar. We'll also need to introduce the rest of the cities with the Persians now halfway to the feudal age. My name is no name in the green. Eltron really wants that villager down and it keeps attacking through the walls. Might be able to get it eventually unless Phylate gets Loom, which probably should. There it is. Yeah, and here's the Green Scout. Should, with the help of Blue, be able to clean that one up. Finally, we have Blue Phylate with the Japanese Phylate. With the tankier and faster working fishing ships. The Scout goes down to the feudal age. Newly acquired feudal age of My Name is No Name. Morning, Bovis. Oh, everyone except Blue approaching the feudal age now. This kind of late feudal age for the Japanese player. Maybe not ideal, but it doesn't look like Eltron is making any naval army yet either. Not really committing a lot to the water, only 3 fishing ships. Maybe not too confident in fighting against Japanese, having already seen the... Oh, he hasn't seen the second dock actually, so this should be a relatively easy fight for Blue to win, as there's 1 fire galley in the queue for Eltron. We probably should have 2 from Blue as well, but it could be a resource issue. Gold would count a bit low, perhaps. Yeah, it's not ideal for Blue. We don't need more armies here. Some scouts out and about for the Persians here. Town center now working 10% faster as well, and I believe that applies to the docks as well. And the flags trying to wall off the sides. Jolly Jumpers, having docked the west side pond, is not committing to naval aggression at all, but rather going straight for the archers, which could give some pretty impressive damage on land here. because you don't necessarily expect Scouts Archers aggression this early on Golden Lakes, where you also want to contest the lakes. But of course, the damage impact is limited as the main food source income will be from the fish on maps like these. That's 3 villagers lost for Denchik, but the fish will still run somewhat uninterrupted. Yeah, you could argue that you could use the archers on land to take out the fishing ships as well if they get close to the dock. So it might be worthwhile to just not spend too much time thinking about naval fighting, but rather fight for land control. So Phalite pulls in for repairs. He's still not using both docks to produce the fire galleys. I think that's a mistake that could cost an unnecessary amount of resources here. Persian scouts now chasing the archers as well, but not really joined by... Both going for scouts and archers approach here, and Shell are on with the numbers advantage. They are at home field advantage for sure. They're close to their home bases. Should be a relatively easy fight for them to win and clean up here. Japanese fish still working with got a faster working rate as well. It's a bit slow on the fire galley production here. Blue struggling a little bit to keep up. Turning away because I'm brewing my morning coffee. Archers running in here. Suddenly, Serdunos are looking at a potential advantage here. Good scouts, Micro from Galafindor as well. Taking out one Persian scouts to give the numbers lead to Serdunos in the scouts department as well. More units trickling in for Shell, of course. They are slightly closer to their reinforcements, but obviously you never want to take fights where you can't get a decisive advantage unless you absolutely have to. So neither team should be too willing to take this fight, but you'll see Serduno staying close to where Shell are desperately trying to wall off as well, and they want to wall all the way to the edge of the map so that the other team can't sneak a villager down, dock the corner, and obstruct the fish food income. The fight here, still a decent fight for Serenunos, isn't it? It's very even in hit points here, and the scouts upgrades advantage. No, but Bloodlines kicked in for Persians. That's huge. That's huge. Now My Name is No Name has way better hit points than the scouts of the Lithuanians player. More archers again trickling in here though. Could be an issue for Shell. Could catch them a bit off guard here if they don't spot it in time. Scouts spotting it, pulling back. Good pocket attention there from the green player. In the meantime, this aggression has bought Serenunos time to nearly complete their team wall. In the middle, top side still to be completed. But once these last few tiles up north are completed, Serenunos will be a lot harder to raid for Team Shell. Archers from the Japanese as well. Maybe it could be a tactical wise play for Shell to gather up all 3 armies together. Looks like they're moving in towards the middle here. Blue still fighting up top against the mines. It's 2 locks versus 1, so this is great value from Eltrodrasis, forcing Phalite to spend so much and arguably overcommit to water here. There's only 3 fish from Eltrodrasi and is already in the castle age as a result, having invested less. That said, Firelight is also in the Castle Age, and immediately adding some land economy on top of the already rich fish economy he's got working for him. Castle Age in for Jolly Jumper as well, which means crossbow will be on the way. Dangerous for Denchik as the Castle Age is far away for the Grey player. This could actually be a brutal fight for the Grey player. The Skull of Hindor gets very decent trades with the fully upgraded Lithuanians Fuel Age Scouts as well. Pity the crossbows didn't want to engage, but you want to preserve the numbers before the upgrades kick in as well. Now it's time to chase, and there's a panic tower going up on the outside base gold of Denchik, because the inside gold is running a little bit on the low side. Might be able to complete the tower. No, won't be able to complete the tower. Yeah. That's 5 builders going down trying to build a tower, securing that gold, and suddenly Denchik, with the Portuguese civilization, is about to run out of gold inside the home base, fighting against a Castle Age player just now reaching Castle Age for himself, and probably has the... yeah, at least has the food and could sell food for gold to afford Bodkin crossbow here, but certainly taking a beating at home base now, the Grey player. Third town center added for the Japanese, so the economy for Firelight is looking a lot more convincing here. Looks like Jolly Jumper might want to commit inside here. Knights with +2 for the Persians player. Persians cavalry also got bonus attack against archers. But only 34 villagers for Denchik now, lost 10 villagers this game. Notable idle thesis time for several on the team's players here, and light cab from Galafindor now receiving the upgrade after reaching the Castle Age, raiding at Firelight's home base as well, really obstructing Shell's economy, and Cerdanos are still that close in villagers to Shell with all of the villagers they've taken out here, but they do have a notable military advantage at this point, like 1/3 more military, and through the raids they're also idling a lot of economy income from Shell, as you can see from the resource situation here. Both Denchik and Firelight will struggle very soon for consistent resource income to replenish their armies. So yes, the Persians player in the pocket has still been somewhat unobstructed, and also a great fight in the middle here for My Name Is No Name. Jolly Jumper losing a lot of the crossbows here, not great news for the Dravidians. That could be a way back. The military situation now even again. Economic situation still in favor of Cernunos, as the players are adding more town centers to extend their economy as well. Town center in the middle for Eltron-Trasi. Let's see if Denchik can spot that in time. The crossbows kind of moving in exactly that direction. If they see some of this building foundation, they may be able to deny that town center completely. Let's have a look. Great line of sight on those as well, but not enough to spot the TC going up. I think it's looking though. It's really looking for expansion. A bit unlucky not to spot that, and I think that will complete in time. Now that it's at 50%, even though there's only 4 villagers building that one. And now there's military close here to ensure that the foundation completes as well. Denchik moving in alone now, might be able to take out some villagers on the woodland here with the crossbows. Decides to commit a move in, but Jolly Jumper pulling his own crossbows close to home. They both have ballistics. They're fully upgraded Castle Age crossbows for both sides here, but Jolly Jumper with the higher numbers here now, even with all of the dancing from Denchik here. These crossbows are going down with little to no value. Again, hit points advantage for Shell here. Cavalry advantage as well. The Persians player supplying a lot more cavalry to the field, even though the economies are comparable here. Lithuanians, let's have a quick look to see if they collected any relics as well. Not yet. Obviously, been busy micromanaging armies and fighting. But still kind of keeping up with the Persians, who at some point was producing out of 5 stables. Really trying to get and keep that numbers advantage there, but always taking relatively... What's going on here? Walling in the relics, of course! Haha. I guess the relics are in the corners of this map, so that they should be... I mean, you have at least one guaranteed relic holding the corner like that, and that walling doesn't complete here either, so Sarudinos on point there should be able to collect that one for the Lithuanians. Splitting the map in half here, but Shell with 3 of the lakes here in their control. That's not to be underestimated if they can keep their fishing eco moving. Only 5 fishing ships for the Persians. That's surprising. It's like free food economy almost. Investing into the fish like that. Again, Jolly Jumper loses a sizable amount of crossbows here to the cavalry of the Persians. But the overall middle military situation, yes, it is in favor of Shell here. Will we see Sarudinos approaching the Imperial Age faster than Shell though? That could be a way back to completely control the middle and take out Shell's gold axis. Still no relics for the Lithuanians. Once again, even in military numbers, the only difference I can tell here is that Sarudinos have a higher economy count, and that's surprising also with the fishing ships expansion of Shell. Doing great work here at contesting the middle from Shell. Now a castle from Denchik as well. Seems a bit risky, a bit ambitious perhaps, with all of the armies currently on the field and army numbers in the middle specifically. Seems to be in favor of Sarudinos. It's a castle that doesn't go up, indeed. You'll never hear me saying Doubt Castle. I think that's silly to refer to any unfinished buildings as Doubt. But it is indeed deleted and has to go up elsewhere. It was a good castle though, just didn't have the manpower to complete in time. Sarudinos once again with the military advantage. Now Imperial Age on the way for the Dravidians as well, will allow for the Arbalester upgrade, but Violet fighting with the uphill advantage here, backing off to the top of the hill, get some pickoffs there, and you have to be careful with the crossbow passes to Dravidians not to engage until the Imperial Age is in here, ideally to get Bracer and Arbalest, which is providing a huge power spike here. We might see some armored elephants moving over here to take out that one and only castle as well. It's not that much middle presence for Shell yet. There's just a tiny bit of gold left, and dropping them on the street now as well to try and collect some of the relics before Sarudinos can get to them. Sarudinos, 2 of the players now on the way to the Imperial Age. well set for stronger upgrades and a way back into the power and control of the middle here. Then check with the 2 villagers castle. 8 villagers from Jolly Jumper. There are some crossbows here to meddle in. Could make that somewhat tougher for Jolly Jumper to complete, but Jolly Jumper sends some units over as well. Seems to be struggling a little bit for gold here for some reason, because there's pikemen and skirmishers being added here. It's just about keeping the crossbows busy though, and the organ gun for that matter, because you really want that castle lap for the Imperial Age to get the trebuchets out to deal with Denchicks. Denchicks castle over here. And the castle indeed completes. Will we see a trebuchet added as well? Jolly Jumper has to put on gold for it. 2 castles now for Denchik though, but in the castle age can't really contest those. This one could even be contested by the armored elephants with cover fire from this castle. So I don't think this petard. I don't think this castle stays up for too long. And petards won't be making much of a difference here. Let's go back to the real fighting events here, where Eltrondrazi has Imperial Age right around the corner. 20 seconds to go. Crossbows for Jolly Jumper, but no Bracer and Arbalest just yet. And Eltron knows he has the numbers and that just doesn't care too much about being downhill here against Phaelate's Japanese armies. Only 6 crossbows left on the field for Phaelate while entering the Imperial Age. Huge advantage for Eltrondrazi over the Japanese here. And there it is, the Imperial Age kicking in for Eltrondrazi, being the death blow here as well. 1-0 for Cernunos. Let's have a look at the statistics before we move into Shell's home map. Indeed, for Eltrondrazi killed 179 units. So, but took some losses here as well, entering the Imperial Age. So, but the overall military situation comfortably ahead for Cernunos here. Even if Shell actually are ahead in economy, when they don't have gold access, this is going to be a long uphill battle from the middle, fighting with trash against gold units for an undefined amount of time. Generally better eco for Cernunos, that's the team walls as well, preventing any raids from easily entering their bases. I suppose you could pull off some transport masterpiece up north for the Japanese, since you're controlling the top here, the blue player. Could make a transport move into Eltrondrazi's base for a surprise attack with, let's say, 10 crossbows or something. Could get some value, because that would catch people, of course. Some raids were happening here as well, but not enough to offset the lead of Cernunos. Right, let's cross out Persians, Japanese, and what was the last one again? Portuguese for that one. And so Nuno's winning it with the Dravidians, Lithuanians, and Mayans. Surprisingly enough, not saving Mayans for runestones, which I would expect to see on the flank side for that map. Moving into Team Acropolis or Chaos Pit for Shell. So if it is Team Acropolis, Hindustanis comes to mind. Burmese possibly for an Iron by play. You'll want the mobility, so Gujaras are seen there frequently as well. Chaos Pit has to be Poles, one of the very few. Yeah, that forward castle was very ambitious though. It needed probably 20 villagers to complete that one, and still that would mean huge losses. But it would be a great castle because it would really set back the gold income of the other team. Holtz comes to mind for Chaos Pit. Vikings possibly as well. Franks for the longer lasting berries. No, not longer lasting, but double patches of berries. Bees or Celts to chop through the woodlands faster as well for Chaos Pit. Furthernos, Ethiopians comes to mind for the 100 food, 100 gold once you reach the next stage. If you can get to the feudal age without loom, you could use that bonus to get to the castle edge without getting to the edges of the map on Chaos Pit. But it's ambitious, you need to keep your armies alive and villagers. Spanish has been seen on Chaos Pit, but they're banned here, so that's not an option. Incas for their slightly cheaper towers. Yeah, let's just hop into the next one and see if it's Team Acropolis or Chaos Pit coming from game 2 here. Team Acropolis, it is indeed Romans. It's not as if we've seen a lot in the games I've casted, at least through League. So let's go. Razini has been subbed in for this one. He is playing in Eldrazi's place. He's going to go play as the Huns. Also a pretty popular pick for Team Acropolis. Huns have 20% fast working stables as a team bonus. Their cavalry archers are also 25% cheaper. Both bonuses really relevant for a map like this, where mobility plays a key role. And if you can get to a deadly mass of heavy cavalry archers in Imperial Age, that's, you know, hard to battle on this map. But you might also want to commit to the paladins as the Huns, since the other two civilizations don't really have paladins. Centurions for the Romans, perhaps, but you need castles for that. So I think Krasini is going to play the scouts into Knights, Cavalier, Paladin on this map. Top side we have Galafindor with the Romans. Romans a bit of an off pick here. Infantry benefiting from double effect from blacksmith bonuses. But Romans fall short in the Imperial Age of it. They don't really have that strong Imperial Age options, do they? And I don't really understand the Romans pick here. They'd have to give me some ideas about that. Great economy though, smooth economy. I guess there's that. Right, so played Roman solid, but I don't even know their team bonus. But the team bonus is that the Scorpion line minimum range is reduced. So they would pair well with the Camber, I guess, the Romans. Builders gather and build and repair 5% faster. Yeah, you have the Centurions. You have the... Yeah. I don't understand the Romans pick here. Maybe it's just a civilization that Galafindor really likes playing and sees some benefit of. Finally, we have Jolly Jumper with the Mongols here, also a traditional pick for this map. There's extra boars, in fact, on this map script, a little further out on the map, so you could bring those in with your scout to boost your Dark Age food income, or just send villagers out at some point and mill this area. You could mill the deer as well, but it's quite exposed, so it's risky. But I've seen players bring the boar in with scout, or just send the villager a long way around and make the use your own scout to block the villager from getting damage from the boar. In any real case, we're going to see Jolly Jumper probably going up at like an 18, 17, 18 pop. Well, 18 or 19 pop feudal age here, most likely, to make the scouts. For Shell, we have Phalate with the Frags. So not saving Franks for Chaos Pit here. It's also a good save for Team Acropolis, because the cheaper castles will make it easier for the late game for them to secure the map late game. You'll see, if the game goes really long on this map, you'll see the players start walling off the full middle section of the map so that they can secure their corners for trade. 16 pop without loot. Yeah, 17 pop then, since the scouts, it's the scout as well. It's even earlier for the Mongols then, so really making use of that Dark Age food bonus. But, to be fair, my name is No Name. It's also up to the feudal age at just one population higher. And slightly few seconds less idle this time, so maybe that will be enough to keep up with the Mongols here, even though the Mongols will get to the scouts protection earlier. You have to push Phylate's deer, huh? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that for this one, though. Yeah, Genchik with the Turks here. Turks. Surprising me a bit for Team Acropolis as well. Janissaries, the unique unit of the Turks, is a strong Castle Age gunpowder unit, but it's not very mobile. Of course, the Turks have a little bit of a bonus for their scouts, extra pierce armor on the scouts, light cavalry. Turks get Hussar instantly as well, which could be beneficial in the late game. Heavy camels they get as well. Cavalry archers, of course, comes to mind for the Turks as well. With Sipahi, is that the Turks bonus as well? Or unique tech, sorry. Turks with bombards, see how Hussar is a strong civ here. Okay, if you say so. Need to get to it though. And Turks don't have a Dark Age economy bonus, which sets them behind at least the Mongols in this matchup. Little nudge at the stable going up for Krasini there, but obviously the stable completes 20% faster working stable as well. Should give Serenunos the numbers lead. They're playing double scouts here for early map control through the mobility. Probably one of the scouts players will go forward, the other will keep them closer to home base to keep the opponent aggression away. Right, Shell with a comfortable scouts HP advantage here. Lots of weak scouts though. No economic units lost so far this game. That's another great pickoff from Shell. Triple scouts it is indeed. So Krasini, Golofintor and Jolly Jumper making the scouts. They're heavily dependent upon Shell not being able to wall off completely at home then. And it looks like Denchik is going for a fast castle approach here. Blacksmith's range, double ranges. Few archers don't make much sense here unless you support them with quite a few spears. So, but an early Castle Age Cavalry Archer play here could really punish Sverdun's triple scouts extended feudal age play here. Both teams actually got a huge back area with safe woodlands here. You even be able to wall it out actually with to keep at least any non-ranged units away. Yeah, speaking of walling, Krasini goes for the small walls around the woodline, which is fine as well. I don't think Shell will scout that necessarily in a while yet. They'll probably wonder why Cernunnos haven't moved out to the middle for more consistent woodland access at some point. But for the time being, they're just taking fights close to home and aiming for an earlier castle age, at least for the pocket position. Not quite fully walled at home, but they're doing the right thing as well. They're walling to keep the aggression out. They know about the triple scouts play at this point. And that hasn't had any particular success for Cernunnos just yet. There's the castle age for Denchik. Cavalry archers in production would make for a dangerous raiding unit here that still need to find the wood access in the back to get some proper damage in here. That's basically all of Krasini's wood income in the backside here. This could be dangerous for Cernunnos as well, the long-distance collection of the boars, now that the cavalry archers are entering the field. Balginero is in, Bausa coming in for consistent wood access as well, faster wood collection. Will Denchik stay 1 TC for a while, though might have to keep the double range cavalry archer production going and wood lines running lower. This would be a good TC spot for later, so we might see that popping up at some point. Military count is deceiving here, as Cernunnos have nearly matching Shell's numbers, but they're arguably behind in the progression here. Admittedly, they're all on the way to the castle age. Failate just not quite yet there with the Franks, so that could be an issue for the cavalry production, the knights production, falling behind like that. Town center on a wood line. Not going to last very long for Denchik, but keeping it safe there should be a good idea. Triple ranges for Krasini, so he's going to contest the cavalry archers play of Denchik here. Let's see if if you get close enough, I suppose you could take out the range builders here. At least obstruct them a little bit. Not the most accurate unit in the world, these cavalry archers, but delays the range a little bit. Arguably value there, even though Krasini isn't going to start producing cavalry archers just yet. Needs to get to the castle age first. Another town center. Ha! Told ya. And the woodlands of gold here. Even safer and more consistent wood access for Denchik, who's now encircled by the scouts of Galafindor. They're still only with fuel age upgrades, so that should be okay. Scout now in front for Failate, helping take a good fight here while halfway to the castle age. Still not able to break through here. But in Shell, they need to have a look at the backside here as well. I think they're about to discover that there's something going on in the back here. I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive, right, to scout the corners at this early stage of the game. But, I mean, they have a back woodland themselves in that area as well. You could say the same thing about Cernunnos. They don't know that there's wood access in the back. But scouting it, imagine scouting that nice and early, you could do so much damage. Because neither side will expect any attack to happen at that area, at the very corner of the map. Great pressure from Shell here. Able to range some of the gold of Krasini as well. And also benefiting from the Hindustani's bonus with the scouts and camels having bonus attack against buildings. Almost taking out an archery ranger would provide a point of entry for Shell into Cernunnos' side as well. Surely that's going to be repaired. Oh, and we're through. Let's see if the cavalry archers take the chance of entering here. We see the benefit of the cheaper Huns cavalry archers here for Krasini is actually matching the cavalry archer numbers of Denchik, or at least finding a choke point here, but knights in front. Not a great fight for Shell here. They just don't have enough armies. I think the Hindustanis camels in front here. But a sneaky mangonel from the back as well could be an issue for Denchik. Great pressure from the Saint Hell. Keeping Serenunos at home base still. Trying to break in through the back here and still didn't scout the wood income from the backside. But they are still keeping Serenunos mainly at home base. There's some expansion going on. There's a Jolly Jumper. Finding some opportunities to claim more of the map and get that Mongols def all going. There is an opening here, so the scouts could still find damage, could even almost deny that castle over here. That's a clutch castle for Jolly Jumper. Long term thinking about Mangudai here for the Mongols. Finally, we're gonna find the back woodline, are we? No. No. Shell would benefit from the Mongol scouting bonus here, but they're not getting that. That's on the other side for Team Serenunos. Larger mass of cavalry archers for Krasini here, so Denchik will have to be careful. No castle yet for Denchik, so no unique technology either. Sipahi giving the cavalry archers 20 extra hit points. Not a good fight for Denchik at all here. Doesn't get to preserve the cavalry archer numbers. And Krasini now producing out of 4 ranges. Good old Huns or cavalry archer production style here. Making full use of the cheaper numbers bonus. But Shell definitely on the aggressive side here. Now committing camels up top to keep the Romans busy. Won't necessarily break through here. But keeping a narrow military numbers advantage here. Town center now for Krasini in the backside, also dropping a university to get ballistics for the cavalry archers. That's been in for a moment for Denchik there. So maybe that's why he took the fight in the back there. Fighting with ballistics or no ballistics. I couldn't quite gather if it was in at that point. But in that case, fighting with 3 units less is less of an issue. So they keep streaming units in, keep denying the gold here, idling the gold income. Krasini has lost 15 villagers. Jolly Jumper has lost 16 villagers. So that explains the massive economic difference between the teams. 20 more villagers for Shell. Not really obstructing the gold income enough here though. Lots of gold in the bank for Galafindor and Jolly Jumper, so maybe they're just not able to produce consistently enough here, or maybe they're committing more to economy than army, thinking long term. Magadai now out and about for Jolly Jumper, getting a few of those out, but again taking some losses here. Great army mass forward for Shell here. Camels even getting to take out some Magadai. You don't see that every day because the Magadai can keep hitting and running as they go. Some raids up to the north side on Shell's side as well. So Serenunos with the counter aggression now going to pick off some villagers. And Krasini's lost most of the cavalry archers here, so Denchik back in the numbers lead in the cavalry archer department here. Still, Jolly Jumper extending the boom, getting some of the neutral golds. Might get another castle up quite soon, which should probably be going up defensively in front or to defend this side. Will it be enough though? Mongols can't carry this alone, and they're down about 60 villagers now. Huge value from the raids from Shell here, more so than what Galafindor got with the Romance Knights up top, unfortunately. Once again, abstracting the gold here. Good vision on the map for Shell, it seems, except for the back corner, which they never scouted. Spotted expansion on this side, a bit lucky with the monk as well. Get a conversion in on the builder, that's hilarious. Could drop some outposts or something to just scout the expansion here. I love how Denjik is using the newly converted villager to gain some more vision in this area of the map. Forward castle now for the Turks, allowing for forward trebuchets, but it's more likely going to be the bomber cannons for the Turks, I guess. Mangala numbers, not too shabby, 14 of them now. Has some easy time to back off towards the hill for some added elevation advantage as well, but then check with large cavalry archers numbers here, close enough to contest these Mangala for sure. Even in an uphill battle, this should be decent. Imperial Age still 1.5 minutes away, and Jolly Jumper really can't afford to lose the Magadai numbers at this stage. Got 2 castles producing them, producing out of both as well, but lost so many villagers to the raids throughout the game. Look at the eco losses here. Tells stories about the great aggression of Shell in the early game here. Let's see if Serenunos can still survive it. They're 100 villagers behind now. They're going to need to make some massive counter attacks and economic damage to even this out. More raids, obstructing the economic expansion of the Mongols here. Imperial Age does kick in, but at what cost for Jolly Jumper now entering the Imperial Age with very limited resources here. It has some gold in the bank still, but both... Okay, I shouldn't say Galafindor is running low on resources. There's so much gold in the bank. I don't know why he's hoarding so much gold. Now making the Scorpions. I mean, that should be decent. That should be decent against the Cavalry Archer approach, but as you're creeping further and further forward here for Denchik, another forward castle as well. Now Trebuchets joining, gonna be joined by some bombard cannons as well. Now the hill is going to be contested and the Mongols castle at risk of going down. And you have the Cavalry Archers protecting the Trebuchets so that the Mangudais won't easily get close to the Trebuchets and pick them off either. Camels now raiding, still keeping the Mongols expansion from getting economic returns here. 64 villagers lost for Jolly Jumper, not having the best game here as the Mongols. 100 HP CA, let's go. They're 90 HP. Stop lying to me. So, one Mongol's castle going down. Do they actually know about this one? Do they know about this one as well? Forward ranges now for Denchik to replenish the cavalry archers closer to the forward aggression. Brasilis move out to the top side here and try to secure some neutral gold for the army production, but it's really struggling for numbers here. Certainly lost half the military of Shell. They're behind more than 100, almost 150 total population as well. I suppose when heavy cavalry archers kick in, we're going to see the aforementioned 100 HP cav archers. There we go. 100 HP. Sipahi cavalry archers from the Turks. Out HPing the Mangodai by 20. And they all have the numbers as well. 36 to 20. 2 castles now producing Mangodai for Jolly Jumper, but it won't be enough as the castle's at risk of going down as well. Here come the Scorpions though. So a last hurrah for Galafindor perhaps, trying to sneak in from behind here to get some juicy damage in on the cavalry archers, but there are camels here to get close to the Scorpions. But it's Roman Scorpions, they suffer less from minimum range. The overall map positioning of Shell though is looking quite bright. They're losing their heal position, and as the Imperial Age kicks in for the full Nuno's team here, that's, or for Shell I mean, that's going to be a win for Team Acropolis for Shell. Intel. Moving on to Sernuno's first home map. So a quick browse through the stats here before we go back to the draft and have a look. Some massive raids here, as we can tell from the KD situation. Mongols player down to 26 villagers in the end, just nothing left of their economy whatsoever. Great economies at home base here, the aggression allowing for the economic expansion at home. And the super fast feudal Mongols kept at home base mostly by Shell, as the triple scouts play aggression didn't quite give the damage Sernunos would have wanted. Not a single villager lost this game for Denchik or Violate, even with the forward castles and stuff going up. Don't know why in early Castle Age Mongol decided to make 3DC boom. Probably a reaction to the fast castle play of the Turks, I guess. Just to try and survive that one TC, expecting one TC Castle Age push, and come back stronger. And if they made better damage than Feudal Age, it would make a difference. But the Mongols could also, with a 3 TC economy, match the cavalry archers numbers of the Turks. I'd say just bail on the Mangodai idea for a while and go for the Mongols cav archers, which still fire faster on the Argud unit. That could have made a difference, because then the Mongols player would have a much easier time massing the armies. Mangodai are great, but sometimes going straight for them isn't necessarily the best idea. Hindustanis, Turks, and Franks winning that one. Against the Romans, which I still don't understand, but let me know. Mongols, and surprisingly enough, not Tatars for that map. Also a drafting mistake right now. They actually drafted Romans, so it's probably an intentional pick. No Magyars, no Tatars. That's weird to not use those for Team Acropolis, but maybe they're saving them for other scenarios. Huns being the last one. That would be Team Acropolis for Shell. We're going to either Nomad or Runestones next. Which, yeah, Persians would be a Nomad pick as well. They're off the menu now. Malians should be a given. Malians, Vietnamese. I could see Incas here, honestly, because that 100 extra food would be very beneficial for Nomad start. But it's more likely to be Byzantine, Saracens, or Malay, because there's water involved. For Shell, don't see any obvious Nomad picks here aside from Persians, to be honest. Bengalis for the self-healing ships, Vikings for the naval, the cheaper docks as well. And then maybe Burmese for their faster wood collection. But Burmese could be for Chaos Pit as well. Yeah, not really prioritizing Nomad here. Not from how I perceive Nomad at least. So let's have a look at game 3. Refilling the coffee as Violet drops the town center immediately on the woodland. Good starting builder there, but the other two are far away, so this TC might still take a long time to complete. Eltron is settling in the middle. Not necessarily a great spot to be in for Nomad, but there is potential for expansion in the back here. And Grassini and Jolly Jumper are relatively close. I have to say, I like Cernunno's starting positions better here. Shell staying close up top as well. But Phyllate dangerously close to the shoreline, so if Cernunnos win the water here, they could use War Galleys to obstruct, especially the stone income here and some of the other food and wood income as well. Right, so Jolly Jumper with the Malay. Cheaper fish traps. Faster uptimes. 66% faster going up, so that would make it easier to contest the water for the Malay player here. Right on a Rhino, so that's good for the start on Nomad. Get that food boost to begin with. Grassini with the Malians. Would discount on any building. One of the few civilizations that could make a fishing ship nearly instantly, although that's been nerfed for Nomad starts recently. And the Vietnamese for Eltron Trasi now getting to know the location of the starting town centers of Shell as the town centers go up. So that makes it great for strategic planning on Nomad. They'll now know that they could expand to the west without much risk of opponent aggression. You just wall off here, and to the edge, and suddenly you would have some pretty nice access to a backside boom for two of the players there. For Shell, we have Phyllate with the Burmese collecting wood or getting the lumber upgrades instantly once you reach the next stages. Arambai, pretty decent unique unit from the castle. Close to stone here as well, so that would suggest that FC Arambai could be a play here for the Burmese. Also set up decently for expanding for a somewhat free boom here, if Shell can keep the other team busy up top. My name is no name, gone for the Bohemians here. We'll probably see Hussite wagons in the castle age then. Could go for the Archers line units as well. Bohemians get chemistry in the castle age, so they are strong with the crossbow play in the castle age as well. Instant gold and stone mining upgrades. Another civilization bonus that's quite handy for the Bohemians. And finally Denchik with the Burgundians. Getting the eco upgrades 1 age early. And even gildnets in the feudal age, which if you can control the water, could be a very useful economic advantage as well. But now, let's speed it up a little bit. This is a Nomad start. We're not going to see any particular Dark Age aggression unless someone goes on a laming spree, and that doesn't look to be the case. All 3 docks on the same side for Shell, but 2 of the docks of Cernunnos as well, so there should be some water fighting, and Shell are... no. Yeah, Shell are well set to win water, at least on the right-hand side, and Green very far away, Krasini very far away. He should not be committing to water unless he's able to dock elsewhere to take those fights. Shell going up early as well, they won't. I think they've recognized that the opposing docks are close. They've seen the blue fish. They should be seeing the grey fish if they haven't already as well. So Eltron Trasis and Jolly Jumper's fish are in grave danger here, to put it that way. Shell going for galleys from the Burgundians player. Might struggle to keep up with the Malay here, going up at a higher population, so stronger economy heading into the feudal age with more resources as well. And then Jig against Jolly Jumper, indeed, again. Alice from the Jig. Double docks. Straight fast castle for Crasini. Could be dangerous with the Malians. Castle even to make Geppettos and move out to raid. Ranged melee unit. Firing fast, running fast. Let's see if there's any fletching coming in. They just kicked in for the Jig. Got the feudal age Bowsaw upgrade here. So that's certainly boosting the resource income. But Jolly Jumper, also with a strong economy with the Malay, did get fletching earlier and has had a numbers advantage with the galleys. Also keeps chasing My Name is Nominated fish over here, so those aren't going to bring in any food for My Name is No Name for a while yet. But it is also 2 galleys being pulled away, so Eltontrasi losing all but 1 fishing ship now. There's definitely going to be some extended naval fighting here. 3 docks now for both players. Significant numbers advantage for Jolly Jumper. Still chasing the fish over here as well. Castle being constructed by Firelight, going to go for the iron buy here indeed. Could make some good raids on lands with those. Let's see if Crasini is planning a castle as well. He's with 3 on stone, not going to be any instant castle, going for a 3,000 boom instead. Reading the map well, knowing that all of the other players are to this side, and at least one of them kind of cut off from his teammates. So some clever walling here. Yeah, they've started the wall off already. Jolly Jumper going to keep any iron buy aggression out from this angle. Vietnamese castle going up as well. I think the Rat and Archers should be a good response to the Burmese iron buy. They have more range. And they have a slightly higher armor as well, so they'll handle it better. Check cast by Vietnam by. Just why don't it make it in the face of who? Of red? Orange? I think that's a good castle to build on. It protects stone and gold. Not too shabby. Great value from these galleys here from Jolly Jumper, now taking out Phaelate's fish as well. While they're still busy microing up top. Then Jig pulling the galleys away. Does have the numbers though. 12 galleys to 11. Slight numbers advantage, but pulling away because of the castle age kicking in for Jolly Jumper with the Malay over here. Iron by and... Whoa! Deletes the town center that nearly completed there. Eltrotrazi. Huge value from Shell with the mix of Iron Buy and her set of wagons here. Finding some exposed economy to hit as well, perhaps. High damage output for the Iron by 12. 12 attack, dealing pierce damage. So you don't need a lot of those to be an efficient raiding unit. Only 22 wilders for Eltontrazi, not successfully expanding with the town center on the woodland. Could be a bit of a miscommunication looking at the blues walls as well. But the position Eltontrazi is in means that he might need to evacuate somehow and get to move to Sereno's side to try and establish a reboom over there. It's very exposed in the middle of Shell's players here. Don't understand. Archers for jumper. Well, he wants to get into crossbows against the Iron By. That has to be the only reason here. I think that's a decent response, to be honest. But you need to get to crossbow, obviously, and the range to deal with the Iron By. Czech expanding the economy on land now. How's the naval situation going? Looks like Cernunos have won the water behind all this, but look at the losses they've been taking on land. Only 26 builders or eco units for Jolly Jumper. Only 21 for Eltontrazi there. They should be massively behind Shell. But because of Brasini's boom, they're still comfortably ahead. Free boom for the Malians. Indeed is dangerous on the map like Nomad. Malians could hard carry a Nomad game if they get to the Imperial Age Farimba cavalry to constantly raid, or to a couple of castles with Geppettos running all over on the map, sniping villagers left and right. Pretty decent chunk of iron by now for Shell, 15 of them staying all together. They really need to do some damage to Grazini at this point. Looks like Dengchik is thinking about the castle drop. Missing just a tiny bit of stone now. One stone missing for that castle. Yeah, it's gonna go up here. Why not here though? Guess it doesn't matter if you have the range. Does deny some gold access here from Grazini. So Grazini might need to move over here to... No, he's got another gold secured on this castle, and Malian's gold spots last longer as well, don't they? So Botkin is in for that check, yeah. So then he should be fine, this castle. Getting some kills. Going to find some gold as well, so good spot there with the outpost. Jolly Jumper trying to get some conversions in on the arm by successfully doing so as well. Geppettos from Grazini, but I think the arm by are still trading decently against them, even though the Geppettos are slightly more accurate. Base accuracy 100 compared to the base accuracy of 20 of the arm by, which is of course to nerf their high pierce damage. See the map positioning of Shell now. They only need to deal with Eltontrazi's castle now to have almost full control of the full right side of the map. Lots of space to add DCs further to the right, expand the economy. Still gold access for Serenos, so the game isn't sold or isn't over with yet, but Grazini needs to carry this game hard for Xenos to really get back into it here. They're falling behind in the economy now. They're falling behind in military as well. They've got the water, arguably. Still some fish working over here for Failate, but not an awful lot. Right, I said that Cernos had water, but Denchik now fighting back. Committed to War Galley for the remaining Feudal Age galleys here. 4,000 is producing on land as well. Power of Burgundian's economy here. Are we seeing some... Will we see some unique unit? Perhaps we will. Maybe you should just aim for an Imperial Age here and to start trapping down the castles. This is hardly any threat at this point. The Vietnamese castle, there's some economy here. That's basically all of Eltron Trasi's economy. Does he even have a town center? Sorry, I'm laughing. Eltron Trasi doesn't even have a town center. And slinging is only allowed if you're one age above. So, Eltron Trasi needs to collect wood himself to get a town center to produce villagers. Yeah, you need to get the town center up, my great friend. Here we go. Yeah, town center is going up to the right hand side. We're fine. So moving further away, but that might get spotted by Shell if they just place a few outposts to this side. GG for Jolly Jumper and Grazzini, as Denchik just kicked the Imperial Age, which means that the defensive castles would be long gone before Cerinos could get there as well. Grazzini actually able to click to the Imperial Age here, but losing the water again, losing the fish, another bad sign for Cerinos. The only player with a significant amount of villagers behind this is Grazzini. And he can't really sling because the rules prohibit that until you're one age higher than the player you are slinging to. Intel taking another one, 2-1, moving into Cerinos' second home map. I've seen with the most resources collected, but the two teammates facing too much aggression, committing hard to win water as well, and did succeed in that, to be fair, but eventually won back by Denchik. Once again, back to the draft. Nunos with the better nomad civs here, in my opinion. So that would be the Vietnamese, Malians, and Malay. Losing that one to the Burmese Burgundians, and Bohemians. Wagons strong this time. Runestones is next. Open land map. We'll see how that plays out. I've still kept... Ooh, what's gonna be the pockets? Could be a Khmer pocket, honestly, but that's also a likely Chaos Pit Civilization. Holes pocket. I mean, there aren't any, aside for Celts, there aren't any Paladin Civs left for Shell, for Runestones. They are committing hard to Chaos Pit. We might see a 5th game, depending on how Sørnundos play this whole map, because they have the Paladin Civilization available. They have Magyars, at least. So it has to be Magyar's pocket for Sørnundos, and then Ethiopian Britons on the flanks. Could be Incas as well. Incas, Britons, Magyars, but I think Ethiopians, Britons, Magyars. Then for Shell, Campbell's pocket from the Gurjaras maybe to deal with the Magyars. And then on the flank sides, Vikings and... yeah, I don't even know. There aren't really any strong... This is going to be Poles, Gurjaras, Vikings. What's going on here? Not a lot of obvious flank civilizations, so maybe we'll see an off-meta approach to the Runestones game here. Right. Back to the idle eco overview here. Shell up 2-1 now. Potential reverse sweep after losing the first game. We have Phalite in the top left side for Shell, playing as the Vikings flank. Used to be a stronger flank playing archers, the Vikings, when they had access to Thumbring, but they still have amazing economy with instant wheelbarrow and handguard in the feudal and castle ages respectively. Could open with infantry, because from the feudal age Vikings get more hit points on their infantry as well. But more likely to go like an 18, 19 population straight archers from double range. This is the common team game practice these days. Poles pocket for Shell, so they will commit to an extended castle age perhaps with the Poles. The Folwarks providing instant 10% of the food yield from the farm, also providing 5 population space, but it's also Folwark economy leaves a lot of your farmers more exposed than when you farm around town centers, so there's that to keep in mind. Not ideal for these open maps, not that often seen in pocket position for the open land maps, but still, if you can get a cath lab, get to the unique technology, you could spam 60% gold discount Knights and in the Imperial Age the Cavalier. Could be enough for Shell to take the game. Remains to be seen, of course. Finally, Denchik with the Bengalis flank on Runestones. That is puzzling to me, Bengalis being a monk and elephant civ. Maybe want to get to the ultimate flex of mass elephant archers with the Bengalis. Who I might argue might work out. They are 1 game up, so they can afford to lose 1 game as well without losing the full set. Jolly jumper for Sørnundos playing as the Ethiopians here on the flank side. Ethiopians are granted 100 food, 100 gold once they reach the next age, which means that affording fletching instantly is an option for them when committing to the double range archers, which they likely will. In the pocket we have Saracens. Certainly didn't expect that, but maybe they've been looking at Shell civilizations and realizing there is no immediate paladin threat. Maybe we should go for a different approach and try to flex our way into fully upgraded Mamluks at some point. Saracens get Knights in the Castle Age, but they don't get Cavalier upgrade, but they have the strongest, arguably, Camels in the Castle Age. Maybe they expected Gurjaras and wanted to contest the Gurjaras pocket in the Castle Age here. And finally, Eltron with the Britons over here. Famous or infamous flank civilization, 10% faster breaking archery ranges being their bonus. And obviously their civilization bonus granting them extra range for the archers as well in the Castle and Imperial Ages. Let's speed this up a little bit, have a little look at the scouting progress and see what kind of uptimes we have. A Loom kicking in for all of Shell, all going for 19 population. Everyone going for 19 population here, which makes the idle TC relevant. quite relevant here, but they're all with very low idle town center types, so completely similar approaches here, I guess. These Saracens, I mean, playing the Saracens for pocket like that, it could mean stable market and buy yourself to an early bloodlines for a feudal age advantage here. That could be a play, honestly, for the Saracens. But yeah, it's going to be the scouts, of course, from the pockets. That's to be expected. A little bit of scouts fighting to the sides, double ranges from all of the flanks, yeah. Scouted by Phylate as well, fighting uphill against Eltrondrazi's scout, but has the HP advantage, should be able to pick that one off. Will not be able to obstruct the ranges from going up. Could actually commit because he still has more HP than this scout, but might not be worth it. You want to keep your scout to be able to scout the map as well. Britain's bringing a serious advantage to Serenudos here, I have to say. They should be producing archers more quickly, so if they have consistent double range production, they should be snowballing that numbers lead, especially if they're able to take good fights across the map as well. Slight HP advantage for Serenudos. Fletching is in for blue, but that's on the other side of the map, so that doesn't apply here. No fletching, still taking the fight, focusing archers, keeping the archer numbers low, but these armies basically cancel each other out, so neither team should get any significant advantage from this. My name is no name, now moving out. Ooh, we'll get an archer pick off there. Bit careless units. Movement from Jolly Jumper there, losing one archer for nothing. Not a huge deal, but still one archer, still one victory. Alright, tough start for the Saracens, not finding the second boar until now. When was the last time you saw a boar lure at minute 14 in a team game? Almost not even worth it. Anyway, that's going to bring in some food. That's why there's lots of farms for the Saracens as well, of course. Struggling to find that boar. It's impressive that they were able to pull off the 19 pop without that boar. Looks like a good fight for Serenudos there at home base, taking out all of the scouts of My Name is No Name, now having to replenish them. More scouts from the Saracens overall. But where are the Saracen scouts? They're inside of Jolly Jumper's base. Jolly Jumper also with more archer... No! Fewer archers than Denchik, actually. But the scouts' numbers matter here as well, so the overall hit point situation is even, but you could send more scouts of Galafindor in between, attracting some fire from the archers of Denchik, so that Serenudos may still get better trades here. Trying to focus villagers, looking for value here, and Galafindor still does not have fletching, which is huge at this stage of the fighting. Denchik has one more range, has more damage output, gets an easy clean up there. Maybe he realized that fletching was missing for Galafindor. Could be that Galafindor is Has the nerves getting to him? Has the blacksmith? Maybe it's one of those cases where you are absolutely certain you clicked fletching, but then the blacksmith didn't respond, and you're left with thinking you have fletching researched, because being the Ethiopians you can afford it instantly anyway. And then suddenly you don't have it after all. Great damage being done, forcing a defensive tower on the gold for I'm speaking about Galafindor. Of course I mean Jolly Jumper, not Galafindor. Eltron however, has fledging in and is entering Firelate space with a huge mass of Britain archers. Some skirmishers mixed in. That's fine because the scouts are over at this side, so at this point adding some skirmishers just makes sense. It adds to your overall army count and helps you fight archers in equal numbers. Massive damage done by Shell on Jolly Jumper's side though. 4 villagers down, still no fletching for Jolly Jumper. Has to keep the armies at home, has to receive help from the pocket scouts to stay alive here. But now, decent fight for Galafindor's side here. Going to lose the scouts to Denchik's archers again. Will that backfire? Only 3 scouts. Double stables now for the Saracens. That's not something you usually see in team games like that. Is that an overchop? No, it's not. But the base is still open. Could still enter through here for Shell. They also have players going to the castle edge behind all of this aggression. There is an opening, isn't there? Don't even need to go around. That's so, isn't it? Why aren't you going in for the gold? Don't tell me this. Nah, that has to be open. That has to be open. Hello? How is that not a hole? Just AoE do things. Yeah. Maybe it's this one that... yeah, I don't even. We are through, but the scouts are here. Probably caught off guard by the mass numbers of scouts now. So that's actually kind of working out for certain those. They have both flanks going to the castle age. However, Green, my name is no name, is going to hit the castle age before the Saracens can even get close, which means that there's going to be lots of Poles Knights. Discount or not, the Poles are still going to have a lot more Knights on the field by the time the Saracens player gets up, and the Saracens will have to commit to camels, which are more vulnerable to ranged fire, and Shell still got decent archers production behind it. It's about 40 archers total. Yes, lower military numbers overall. It's a triple range production from the Britons as well, entering the castle age. Going to get that crossbow bodkin upgrade any second now. We'll see if Firelate chooses to pull away or just look for decent trades against the Britons here to minimize that castle age advantage. No, pulling away. That's a wise choice. Preserving the armies. Still got 1 minute to go for the castle age. Dadjik with the crossbows in here, but being chased by Galafindor scouts here that are nearly fully upgraded. Still stuck in the feudal age. Committing to even more scouts, which is peculiar. The added double stable knights of the Poles should certainly shake this up, but Denchik taking some serious losses here and has to back off until the Poles Knights can join the field. Looks like the castle is being prioritized here, so my name is no name. Will get sloughed up privileges early on here to maximize the boost of that unique technology. Oh, Knights raids entering Galafindor's side here. Still in the feudal age. Still in the feudal age. Could take massive losses here to these raids. Is this what's going to be shell the game? Just insistent raids from the Poles. It's Slata in, by the way. I missed that. If it did, yeah, just researched. Scouts doing a decent job. We're still missing forging. Okay. So, could be taking even better fights with the scouts here. With forging in. How many stables producing for the Poles? Only 2 for now. As Stenchik is adding another DC to secure the woodline here, taking some damage from Jolly Jumper's crossbows. This woodline is at serious risk of being raided by the ranged forces as well. Vikings, triple ranges, producing here 27 crossbows total, but the Britons have more range total. And they have more numbers, and they have an easier time of replenishing. Great pickoffs here from the Poles cavalry, +2, +1, will dominate the Saracens cavalry for a while yet, and Galafindor also losing 7 villagers. Huge loss entering the castle age here. 1 minute to go. I think you need to keep raiding the Saracens' pocket here just to completely set them back once they enter the next stage. I think that matters more than the pockets, no, more than the flanks at this point. Maybe you want to deal some damage to the Britons as well. Looks like File 8 could take some losses here. Saracens bonus playing in. Wait, that might be why they have Saracens pocket actually. To boost the Britons and Ethiopians with the added damage against buildings. It's risky, but it's kind of paying off as well. 1 range down for the Vikings. And now the Poles cavalry will be desperately needed on this side, but they're coming in from behind. We could get a CS around over here. Great fight for this. Should be a great fight for Shell. It should be a great fight against Britons. The Knights getting some serious damage in. Yes, the Britons players hitting and running, but the Poles Slata is starting to kick in as well. 18 Knights on the field. Yes, quadruple stables, camels from the Saracens, but is that going to be enough to keep up with this? They are mixing in, but look at the upgrades. They're missing basically every upgrade except for the feudal age armor. Getting away with 26 crossbows here, so not too shabby for Eltron, but I think it's a good call of the Vikings to pull away as well. Because now they've sort of evened out the numbers here. Sernunos heavily behind in the economy here. And with the current upgrades to the camels, you could easily fight the camels with the knights as well. The Poles with full upgrades, almost only missing iron forging. Taking advantage of the Britain's range bonus here. And back to the eco situation. Yeah, no more eco kills for the time being for Sernunos. That's an impressive Cabals production by Galafindor. And again, it shows why Galafindor would benefit from, or would take huge losses to or raids from the Poles while on the way to the Castle Age. Yeah, how we defended that 1 versus 2, that's a good question. Indeed. So the Noodles now with a huge military lead there, they're turning this around. I don't know how they're doing this, but now they're taking out another production site for the Vikings. Forcing a defensive castle. Not sure if that's going to go up for fair late with this kind of army presence forward. 3 more town centers in the back, those who can afford to lose villagers. Knights still with the numbers here, but now +2 defense for the camels. Once the castle completes, the crossbows can't really move any further. Are we getting any pick-offs here? Not really. Sardino's pulling away again. They have to keep this kind of low eco, high RB push for a while yet, because they are behind the economy. They need to even out those numbers by taking out production and ideally economy of the opponents as well. Then check with a semi-forward castle here with the Bengalis. And if you're wondering about why not in the face on the previous nominated game, why is this castle not in the face of the production and everything of Serenunos? I'm sure it is to defend this hill, but you know, you could obstruct a lot of crossbow production here from Jolly Jumper by placing that castle more forward. Imperial Age on the way for the Bengalis as well. That's probably why the castle is here, to hide it away from the Ethiopians and allow for that Imperial Age push to take out most of Jolly Jumper's base. Still 2 minutes to go though. Speaking of Imperial Age, it's on the way for the Mongols as well. We're not going to see the Imperial Age anytime soon, maybe except for Eltron-Trasis Britons, who somehow has managed to mass 80 crossbows, which is ridiculous. Camels going down though. Now the Saracens are going to struggle. Yes, got that multiple town centers working, 70 something villagers. That has to be an impressive low idleness time for Galafindor. But is it going to be enough with 2 of Shell's players reaching the Imperial Age? We are making the Elephant Archers now. So Elephant Archers Death Ball on the way for Denchik. It's going to take quite a while to mass those, but that, unironically, that is a way to deal with Britain's Arbalest mass in Imperial Age as well. Because the Elephant Archers are so tanky, they're essentially serving almost the... Almost this... That's going to be so many Britain's crossbows going down there. Forced into a choke point in the woodland here. They're still getting decent trades, but these are dirt cheap Pulse Knights, remember? So as long as my name keeps those knights flooding out, Britons are going to take less cost favorable trades here. Keep some of them alive. Maybe we should be happy with this. But that's still half the crossbow math lost for the Britons while on the way to the Imperial Age, which is a huge loss. Now Bracer coming in for both flanks of Shell here. Elephant Archers increasing in numbers as well. We'll need some Trebuchets to join the field here as well. Deleting the range there to let the crossbows move through. Camel numbers still higher than the knights numbers of the poles, to be fair, but camels trading against the poles. You could still fight the camels with the poles because the knights are so cheap, right? So the gold, it's 41 on gold for My Name Is No Name, but if we look at the gold mining, it's still plenty of gold left in the base because the knights are just so cheap. Britons 40 are blessed. Vikings nearly matching that number, but with Bracer in, the Britons have 2 more range. Another forward castle for Denchik, so slowly pushing this side, trickling in more Elephant Archers. I guess you don't want to let the camels get too close here. Decent quick walls, but it also means that the Elephant Archers will be going down. The camels have bonus damage against elephants as well. They have bonus damage against all kinds of cavalry. +1 damage for Vikings. Yeah, but they still... I mean, yeah, the Vikings unit is decent, but there's still 2 more range, and if you deal 1 more damage, it doesn't matter when you can't get close enough to deal it. But it's a great Imperial Age deck for sure for the Vikings. Good change. Four town centers for Denchik. Decent economy behind this. Food, eco, house production, triple range cavalry production. Poles now entering Imperial Age as well, which means Cavalier will enter the field. Once again, Galafindor is going to be on the back foot with the cavalry situation here, because the camels will now be fighting Cavaliers shortly. And Cavaliers will be able to take a much better fight against the Britain's Arbalists than the Knights will as well, of course. We'll need some castles on this side as well. See the stone commitment by Phaelate. As a castle in the back here could still produce trebuchets from there, but the Britons are controlling this hill for now. My name hesitant to engage, of course. Want that Cavalier upgrade and more, maybe the last attack upgrade as well at some point. May not need to rush that. Castle side for Jolly Jumper wants to deal with the forward presence of Denchik, but Denchik massive economic advantage over the Ethiopians player. Sends the camel archers, elephant archers right in. They have no defense upgrade whatsoever, but these are about to come in. That defensive castle not going to stay up for any long time. And Denchik also seeing the gold expansion to the side here. Might just dive right in to deal with that. Cavalier now in for the poles. Should commit to the treb, shouldn't he? Committing against the Arbalest instead. Why is that treb allowed to stay there? There we go. So Imperial Age halfway there for Galafindor. Saracen's Pocket going to get the heavy camels, but will it be in time? Not producing at all at this point. Quite vulnerable entering the Imperial Age. There's plenty of resources in the bank, but look at the Poles cavalry production now. You could also see the Winged Hussar attacked by the Poles at some point to mix in with the Cavaliers. Strong Hussar raiding unit. Where's the Cavalry? There's trickling in on Jolly Jumper's side to make quick work of the Ethiopians over here, raiding the home base of Galafindor. This raid timing is so great. Fantastic raid timing on the Saracen side. It's going to idle so much of the food and gold income. And while on the way to the Imperial Age, impeccable timing with the small amounts of Cavaliers raiding inside of the Saracen base. So now all Phaelate needs to do is hold, not let the Britons get too close here, so that Shell can push the other side and take the Ethiopians out of the game completely. Elephant Archer mass, not quite there yet, but still trickling in from several ranges. Looks like Denchik is actually heavily housed here for some reason. Lost one castle, so that's why. Jolly Jumper still got plenty of villagers, but doesn't have any castle to defend the economy, so the Undertale Center should be going down as well. Arbalists against Elephant Archers in equal mass, obviously going to favor the Elephant Archers if you look at the hit points difference here. Elite Skirmishers now also mixed in by the Britons. Funny enough, with the extra damage of the Vikings, you almost counter the Skirmishers, in a sense, with your own Arbalest. So it might not be that effective for the Britons to add those in at this side, but of course it's a way to ration the gold and keep your army mass consistent. Right hand side is dying for Cernunnos though, now down to only 8 military for Jolly Jumper. 73 villagers still, so still doing good work at keeping the villager numbers alive. Light cap raids from Saracens inside of Denchik's base as well, but at this point Denchik is probably happy to be raided with the 147 villagers. Needs more space for military. Finally castle on the hill for the Vikings here. Keeping up with the Britons' army mass. They're or not, I'm saying keeping up, it's actually outmassing the Britons at this point. Because, again, the raids entering the Britain space now forcing a reaction at home base. Maybe we should have a look at the equal sets. Yeah, 67 builders killed by no name so far. Yeah, I heard the light camp conversion. It's also a way to defend against raids, I guess. Now Castle's going up. Marcus going up in the corner. Shell taking the advantage of their aggression on both sides now to secure the quarters for trade for consistent gold access through the late game. Cernunos realizing they're losing both sides, losing the fourth game to Shell after winning the first game convincingly, but it is indeed Saint Hell taking the win in the final game of Division 2. GG, well played to both teams. Nice set with a variety of sibs seen, and finally seeing some not so common flank sibs on runestones as well. Lots of kills for the Poles. Great raids there. Great raid timing on the Saracens. I'll say that again. As you see the... No. Let me see. Yeah, anyway. Upon entering the Imperial Age, losing quite a bit of the gathering rate here at home base for the Saracens. That's what I want to show. Big dip in economy here. Later as well, of course, but yeah. That's what I want to show for this one. How important that raid was on the Poles pocket. Great reading the map. Economy is comparable with Jolly Jumper taking a beating there earlier on. To the point of overboom for Denchik, but that's what we need for the Elephant Archers to mass as well. So I guess we can excuse that. And yeah, GG well played for 3-1 for St. Hell. I want to show the draft one last time just to show the sibs not used as well. Celts, Gujars not used here. Goths not used either. Bengalis, Poles, and Vikings for that one. Taking out the Ethiopians, the mighty Britons, and a questionable Saracens pocket, but again, I think it was to give the archers a fuel age, or the boost already from the fuel age, and the Saracens providing scouts into camels. They still have strong camels in the Castle Age, so they are not a horrible pocket civilization. They're not just up there with the paladins. But to be fair, Shell also didn't have paladins, they just have the ability to mass cavalry from the Poles, making it hard to contest for Cernunos. GG well played. Let's close out this final 3v3 League Season 6 bracket. Season 7 starts December 15th. I'm about to finalize the brackets.